Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry about this. This is just awful. So I'm super excited for tonight. We have Joanna. We have actually talked for a while about Joanna doing this presentation for us. And so I'm very unprepared with how to introduce Joanna. We've known Joanna for quite a while now, and she's just kind of like part of our family. And so she has a wonderful brood of children, but she has a wonderful brood of children. I hope that, and I love how Joanna and Mike have pulled together to build this business as a team through thick and thin, and they've just really, Joanna's amazing. And so I'm super excited to hear what she has to share with us tonight. So I'll let you take it away, Joanna.
All right. Thank you so much. So let me just go to sharing my screen here. I prepared a little PowerPoint presentation for you guys. I want to make sure you can see it. Share screen. Here we go. All right, slideshow. Let me know if you can see my slideshow. Is it there?
Yep.
Okay, great. So tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about creating a warm market and the do's and don'ts of network marketing. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey here. So on the left is what my life looked like before doTERRA, and on the right is what my life looked like after doTERRA, right? Isn't this everybody's story? So not quite, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit how I got started. So I've been using the essential oils, doTERRA essential oils, for 4 years now. I was living in Illinois when I got introduced by Lynn Fingerhut and Tracy Kennebeck. And I used the oils for about a year, and I wanted nothing to do with the business. How many people can relate to that, right? I wanted nothing to do with building or selling or anything like that. But what I inadvertently was doing was I was already building and selling without even knowing it, because these gifts, these oils were a gift that changed our family's life. So I was literally just sharing them with all my friends, my whole network. And when everything just finally clicked for me, what a great opportunity this was. And I decided to host my first class. Like, my whole network ended up enrolling. A bunch of people became builders. There's still builders on my team. Over the last 3 years, we've built our team to gold, which has been awesome. We have a lot of silvers and premieres and even a diamond on our team. So it's been a really great journey. I reached silver in about 11 months, and then I ended up moving out of Illinois back to our home base of Boston, which is where my husband and I are from. And we thought we were going to hit diamond right away because we have a large network here. We both went to college here. We went to separate high schools. His job is here. Our family's here. We were like, this is going to be so easy. We're just going to, network and host some classes, and people are going to join our team left and right. And that's not what happened. We ended up stalling out. So just because you know a lot of people doesn't mean that they will automatically support you or buy your products or enroll with you, host a class, or even respond to you, honestly. So I did, my 100-person list, which ended up being like 1,000-person list. And I ended up going down that list and just getting crickets and crickets. And people just were not really interested. So the East Coast and the Boston, Cambridge area where I live is it's different than Illinois, where I, started building the business. There's a lot of hospitals here, a lot of specialists, a lot of biotech, big pharma, pharmaceutical companies. People are very anti-MLM, natural approaches. They love their doctors. They love their meds. So they did not want to hear anything about my, voodoo magic oils. They were not open to that at all. And I basically had to rebuild my entire warm market and just start everything from scratch. So the good news is, before you guys get too depressed, is that now, after 2 years of being here, people who I originally started talking to about the oils are hearing the buzz about these oils and how amazing they are and how amazing doTERRA is, and they're starting to reconnect, and they're coming back to me and they're enrolling. So just this week alone, I enrolled somebody who I haven't talked to since college and since high school. So lots of good things are happening, but it has been a long journey since then. So I want to share with you a little bit about a warm market or cold market and what you can do when your warm market kind of starts to either fizzle out or maybe not non-existent. So what exactly is a warm market? So we hear this a lot. So your warm market is your friends, your relative, existing customers. If you come from another, company or another business, any referrals you might have, or any of your low-hanging fruit. So people you already know, like friends and family. And your cold market is future or prospective customers, people you don't know yet. So when I moved back, I realized that honestly, I didn't really have, I think part of the reason why there was such a big disconnect for me and for my husband was that we left 4 years ago to go to Illinois as basically like a married couple, and we came back with a gaggle of children, like Romy said. We have 4 children, and we just kind of had a disconnect from our current market. So I came back as a mom, like I was pretty holistic, into holistic health. I had some pretty serious health problems that I dealt with, using oils and some other natural remedies and stuff like that. And basically I came back a different person because I had different values too. And a lot of that I attribute to doTERRA and to the personal development that I did. So, oops, sorry, I came back to this. Okay. So when I came back, I decided that I was done being a worker bee and I was an entrepreneur. And I know a lot of you guys can relate on here too, because you're probably here because you are an entrepreneur, not a worker bee anymore. And in order to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to look and build for networks. This is what I kept hearing. One of the first books that I read, and I still go to all the time, is Eric Worre from, How to Go Pro. And he talks a lot about networking, obviously, and Robert Kiyosaki as well. So I didn't want to come back and look for work. I didn't want to trade time for money anymore. And we learned a lot about permission marketing. So this was kind of the difference with what I was doing when I came back to now what I understand is really the key to successful networking. So Seth Godin, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Seth Godin, talks a lot about permission marketing. He wrote a book about this. I highly recommend it. And it's all about turning strangers into friends and friends into customers. So this is a big key. You can't really, maybe you can, but it's really difficult to turn strangers into customers before you turn them into friends. And once you understand this concept, your whole business is really going to change because it's going to change the way that you talk to people, the way you approach them, and how you view your whole business. So why offer people services they don't want is one of his quotes that he talked about. So this is where you learn how to provide value to people, and you gain people's permission to advertise to them by adding value. So bringing value to those you should value with permission marketing. So you kind of have to know your niche when you're doing this. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say niche? Kind of know who your target audience is. Why offer services they don't want? So serving those people who need our products, which is, with essential oils, it's everyone. Everyone needs our products, even though they may not know it yet. But really, you want to focus your time and energy to those who are open and ready for hearing our message and hearing what we are talking about. So, for example, when I moved back, my best friend was one of the people who I was like, this is awesome. Like, she needs these oils. I'm so excited for her. Like, she's going to, get into them and start using them. But she wasn't. Like, she was on a completely different wavelength and still is to this day. And I love her and she's still my best friend, but she lives a very different lifestyle than I do. And her priorities are very different than what we are. So her network tends to be the same as her. So I'm not going to focus a lot of my efforts on trying to break into her network with my business. And again, I'm still, telling her about the oils and still like trying to offer her solutions and help her and have a servant heart towards her. But I just know that in terms of growing my business, that's not where I need to be. I don't really have her permission to advertise to her or her network. So before we talk about what to do for networking, I want to talk to you guys about what to not do, because why would you want to spend all this time in the long haul, right? And as entrepreneurs and as network marketers, we're in here for the long haul for 4 years, right? The 4-year career. So let's get out of the way what doesn't work, because, hold on, somebody's chatting. I want to see if I need to respond. Well, it is magical. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a scenario that goes along with this slide. So imagine yourself and you're at the post office, right? And you go up to a stranger and you're talking, and I don't know, maybe you talk about something like the weather, something just very typical. And all of a sudden the stranger says to you, hey, so I'm starting this 12-week wellness group for weight loss, and you look like you might be interested. And we also have these awesome wraps that help with that flabby belly that you have. Would you be interested in joining my group and, trying some of these products? What would you guys do? Punch them in the face, right? I mean, okay, maybe we wouldn't punch them in the face, but you'd want to at least feel like you want to punch them in the face. So this is what this is all about. If you talk to people the way advertising talk to people, they punch you in the face. But yet so many times we end up doing this. We end up getting so excited about our products and about our services. And we just go in there and it doesn't work. So you don't want to do that. And I can't tell you how often this has happened to me on Facebook, where people would friend me and they would be like, hey, you want to join my fitness group? Or hey, you want to join this or try this wrap or do this? Or like, they don't care about me. They don't know me. They don't really care about providing value. All they want to do is sell me a product. Like, does that feel good? Like, has that ever happened to you guys? And did you feel like you wanted to support that person and really feel like they cared about you? No, you wanted to punch them in the face. So don't do that to other people. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. So if you follow Eric Worre, like I mentioned, he has a great presentation about the 7 deadly sins of network marketing. I highly recommend watching it. It's like a 21-minute presentation. And if you do this online, you're going to end up getting blocked and deleted from people's Facebook pages. So yeah, you don't want to do that. All right, so let's go on to some other things we don't want to do before we get to the good stuff about what you do want to do. So like I said, don't add friends on social media and automatically try to pitch them. This is like, if this happens to you, I'm sure you're just like, I don't know this person. I'm not going to listen to their pitch. They don't care about me. You're not going to really be receptive to what product they have to offer you, even if it's like a great product, right? Don't join groups in person and just pitch them, because again, same thing. People can feel that and they can sense a predator and a shark. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more about, you don't want to be a shark. People don't like that. So don't fill your personal Facebook page with spam either. So as good as this, Oreo spam thing that I have going here looks, right? Who wouldn't want some spam Oreo cookies? It's just not good. So I'm sure you guys all have those friends who are constantly using their personal Facebook page to spam you with their product and their company and their page and whatever else they have. That's not what your personal page is for. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should never post your business and your opportunity and your product on your personal page, because you should, because people are watching you and they're following you and you want them to know what you're all about. But you don't want that to become like a Facebook spam or Instagram or Twitter or whatever else people use. I tend to just use Facebook. So I'm going to just kind of tell you guys about my personal journey with that. All right. You don't want to be that person. Okay. So now let's talk about the do's. This is going to be hard for some people to hear. This was hard for me to understand and to really get, especially when my online techniques did not work. Who's an introvert here? Raise your hand. If you're an introvert like me, what I'm about to tell you is hard, but if I can do it, so can you. So first, I just kind of want to talk about the difference between an introvert and an extrovert. A lot of people think that an introvert just means that you're really shy and you don't like being out in public and that you might be like socially awkward. That's not what it means. I actually am very social and outgoing and I really enjoy being out in public, but where I draw my energy, like when my cup is empty, to fill my energy, like I really love to just, I'm like a homebody. I love to be at home, curled up in my bed with a nice book, or like with my husband by a fire, like with a cup of tea or coffee, whatever it is, and just hanging out with him. That's where I fill my bucket and my cup. My husband, on the other hand, he's an extrovert. So he loves to be out in public. Like he'd love to go to a great party, out with people, to work. Like he thrives in an office setting. Like he loves going to work every day and he really gets that energy from that. So that's the difference. It's not really about being shy or social. So anyway, when you're an introvert, you tend to get kind of emotionally sucked dry of energy when you're out in public. So this is going to be hard, but you have to talk to people to do networking. You do. And behind your screen too. So marketing tip, network locally offline to market your online business. Build a large community of contacts, both online and offline. Get out from behind the computer and have fun meeting people with social events in addition to business events. So I'm going to talk a lot about this, about all the different things that I've done over the 2 years since I've moved back here to kind of step outside my comfort zone, like really push through that introvert tendency that I have and build my business. So you're going to have to talk to people in public, at events, in line at the grocery store, at your kid's school, at work, at the playground, basically everywhere. You're going to have to get out from behind the screen. And this is where I feel like the magic happens of building momentum and really like gaining speed with your business. So for me, it was really natural and easy to build my business on Facebook. When I started building, I just had my third baby. I was nursing him a lot. He was just 3 months old. So, like 12 hours out of 24, I was basically like nursing a baby. So this thing was my best friend. With my previous 2 babies, I would be either reading a book on here or playing like some mindless game or watching a TV show. And I decided that instead of doing those things, I'm going to build my legacy, right? For my kids. I knew my why and it was so important to me. So instead of doing all those kind of mindless things, I decided to build my business. So that was comfortable and easy. And getting out from behind the screen was not comfortable and it was not easy and it was challenging to incorporate, but I knew I had to go there in order to build my network. So again, I'm just going to share with you guys my personal journey. I know there's a lot of different ways to build a business. Some people do it all through just online marketing. There's a lot of really successful people, especially in doTERRA, who do just Facebook or just Instagram or whatever else. But if you're looking to expand in different ways, then this is a good presentation for you. Okay, so now we're going to get into what you should be doing. How am I doing on time? I tend to digress. So, okay, 10:22, we're doing good. Okay, so be diverse. So to create a robust network, you want to be diverse. And what I mean by that is that you kind of want to just be interesting. You want to stay current. You want to read books, know your target audience, know a little bit about a lot. So that way when you meet people, you can have semi-intelligent conversations with them, right? And you're up to date about what kind of is going on in the world and just about different topics. So that way you can really make connections with people. The number one thing that I kind of want to say too is about being patient. Creating a new warm market, making friends and turning friends into customers is going to take time. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. This is the 4-year career for a reason. It takes time to really connect with people, to establish relationships. And this is really all about relationships. So the other kind of thing that I keep thinking about over the years, I don't remember who said this. I'm sure it was somebody on our team, maybe even Romy, maybe, I don't know who it was, but about farming. And, you know, you spread your seeds and then you take care of those seeds and you nurture them, and then you have your harvest, right, at the end. So what a lot of us have to do is we have to actually just buy more land too. So if you're planting those seeds and you're farming your land, but you're throwing your seeds down on just 1 acre, your harvest will only grow on that 1 acre. So you want to be expanding your land. And this is, again, kind of what the tips that I'm going to give you on tonight is about how to expand your land. And this is where the networking is crucial. The other thing too is when you are not patient, you're not thinking about the other person. You're kind of just thinking about yourself, right? You're thinking about your goals and your business and where you're going and what you want to be doing. And you're not focusing about the other person and what their needs are. And a lot of us, or most of us, I would dare say all of us on this call, we're all here on this team because we've been called to service and we've been called to helping others. Like, yes, we're doing the business, but we're in the business because somehow Romy and all these other amazing people on this team have attracted us to their team. And here we are on this amazing team that truly is filled with people with servant hearts. So in order to really manifest that and have that work, you have to be patient, because you can't serve people if they're not ready, kind of like I mentioned. And if you're there all along for the journey with them, one day they're going to be ready and you've been there all along, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got to go to this person who has supported me this whole time. And boom. That's how you're able to kind of grow that network and grow your team. Okay. So one of the things about farming is in an effort to be diverse, I decided to take up backyard chicken farming here in Boston. Yep, in the city of Boston, I have backyard chickens. I know, it sounds crazy. I only have 6. They're awesome. I love my chickens. But again, I can't have more than 6 chickens here in Boston. I have to go and buy more land, probably like in New Hampshire or Maine or something, to expand my network. So no matter how much I talk and, you know, throw down seeds in my little tiny plot of land here, I'm not going to be able to grow this giant chicken farm, right? So I'm hoping this is kind of resonating with some of you about why you need to be expanding your network and spreading your seeds to other people all over. Okay. So now let's talk about some strategies. Always be prepared when out and about. Have your elevator speech ready, right? You guys have your like 30-second elevator speech. How are you going to respond when people ask you, what do you do? Do you guys know? Anybody want to give us an example of your elevator speech? Ooh, I'm curious. Romy, what's yours?
I don't know if I'll be able to talk without breaking up.
Oh,
Which part of my elevator speech do you want?
So if you meet somebody, let's say you're just talking in, you know, at the grocery store or whatever, and they say, oh, what do you do?
Let's see. I teach people how to live a holistic lifestyle using natural solutions. and I educate people on the use of essential oils and a healthy lifestyle in general.
Awesome. So that is really good. I hope you guys all who are on this call have your elevator speech ready. So when people ask you, you're not like, I don't know, what do I do? And the other thing too is stop looking at your phone when you're out in public. This is like something that I'm guilty of, which is why I'm putting it on here. Like, don't be looking at your phone. Look at people around you. Look at who's next to you and who you can talk to and who you can help and who you can serve that day. Like, who can you help? Like, we know we have these amazing gifts. Who are you going to bless that day with these amazing gifts? So to go along with that, carry interesting doTERRA paraphernalia. Like, okay, guys, be a product of the product, right? So I can't even tell you countless examples of how many times I've started conversations with total strangers because I had my little doTERRA keychain. Hope you guys carry this, right? This is your doTERRA keychain with your oils. People will be like, ooh, what is that? Apply it, use your oils when you're out in public. Another thing is, I don't know if you've seen this. This is a little doTERRA clutch. It's a wallet. You put your, this is a new one. I didn't want to show you my like one that I use because it's got all kinds of stuff in it. And you can put your oil bottles in it. Oh, sorry, I thought you guys could see me. You can't see me. So there's a clutch that you can carry that has your oils and other things. There's a bag that you can have that has doTERRA label stuff on it. There's sweatshirts, all kinds of things. These are all things to start conversations. Your car decal and the wrap. So Romy and Mark have a great wrap. I have a car decal on the back. Really great way to spark conversations with people. I can't even tell you how many times people were like, oh, is that your doTERRA card there? What is that? And then we just start talking, and now I made another contact. But you want to be prepared with your samples and your business cards and your class schedule. So if you do, you know, weekly classes or bi-weekly classes, whatever it is that you do, have that schedule so you can give it to people and your class samples. The other day, I connected with somebody at the drive-thru when I was getting coffee, and I had my diffuser going in my cup holder, and the guy at the drive-thru was like, what is that? And I was like, that's my car diffuser, and it's got oil in it. And he's like, really? I've been looking into getting one of those. Do you sell those? And I was like, well, I don't, but I can, you know, teach you how to get one and teach you how to get oils. And here's my business card. And I had my business card, and I had a sample, and I gave it to him, and, you know, we'll connect again. And everywhere you go, make sure people know what you're all about, and start conversations with complete strangers. So really great way to do that. I made a connection at a yard sale and booked a class because of the car logo on my minivan. Yes, I was parked in front of this yard sale that I was at. I'll talk a lot more about yard sales because, you know, I'm on the floor, yard sale a lot. And somebody was asking me about doTERRA, what is that? And we started talking. She was like, oh my gosh, my friends and I were thinking about, you know, learning more about that. Would you like host a class for us? And I was like, absolutely. So everywhere you go, make sure you have ways to tell people about that. Join a meetup. So meetup.com, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with it or if it's big in your area, is a way to connect with people in your community with similar interests. So there's a meetup literally for everything. There's hiking, biking, running, weightlifting, knitting, parenting groups, women's groups, men's groups, singles, over 40, under 20, spiritual, religious groups, Toastmasters. I mean, the list goes on and on. This is a great way to get into a new network. And if you don't have one that might be interesting to you, create one. So one of the first things that I did when I moved back to Boston and I was having a lot of trouble, like just networking with people, I created a meetup. I called it the Greater Boston Area Essential Oils for a Balanced Life. And I advertise my classes there. I hold them at a Whole Foods, which is like our local kind of hippie, organic grocery store. And I advertise all my classes there and people come. Sometimes nobody comes. Sometimes 5 people come. But I can tell you I've enrolled several people that way, and they've hosted classes, and now I've broken into new networks that way. So I highly recommend either joining a meetup or creating your own meetup. And if you don't have Meetup or it's not popular in your area, then join lots of other groups in your area. There's lots of ways. So take notes because you guys are going to be, you know, doing this stuff now. Join a sports team. There's adult recreational sports team. My husband does dodgeball. Well, not anymore, but he did dodgeball for a long time. There's actually several people on my team from his dodgeball team. He did softball, like, are you on? I don't know what other things, soccer, whatever it is. If sports is not your team, you can do like a junior women's league. You can do moms clubs. If you're not a mom, you can do dance groups. Pursue a hobby. Again, this is all part of being that diverse person. So what's something that you've always wanted to do, but you've never made time for? Do it now. Now's the time. There's no better time than the present, right? Political or activist groups. If there's something that you're passionate about or really connected to, like, join those groups, and don't do it to be a shark, you know? So the shark's like always swimming in the water, like a predator trying to like just sell their products. You don't want to be that person. So don't go into a group. We talked about the don'ts. You're not going to just like go in there and be like, hey, you want to hear about doTERRA? I have an oil for that, or start doing that. No, you're doing this to build relationships. So recently I joined this political group and I literally got over 1,000 friend requests on Facebook. So now I have all these awesome women who I have a common cause with, who I've really connected with and bonded with. And I haven't talked to any of them about essential oils, but one day I know that something is going to come up where I'm going to have a solution for one of them. And who knows how life-changing that could be to that woman. And ultimately to my business too. So I didn't do it with the intention of marketing to them, but I'm also, you know, building a business. So I know that this is a whole other network for me as well. Other things you can do: adult community classes, join the gym, join a book club. Book clubs are awesome. They're usually pretty small and intimate. You can join one online. You can join one in person. Cooking clubs, dog groups. There's a ton of dog groups in the Boston area. I don't know what's up with that. People really love their dogs. They like to get together with their dogs and have play groups with their dogs. So if you have a dog, do that. Volunteer. This is a great way, again, to get out in the community. Join your PTO, your town board, geocaching. I don't know if you guys know what geocaching is. It's like this way of virtually finding geodes out in nature through your phone. But anyway, there's groups that do this. I don't do it, but I want it to be diverse here again for other people who have different interests, because I know that I'm a mom, so I tend to have just like mom focused groups. So I don't want to leave out other people and men and people who are not like moms with 4 kids. So again, that's what we want to do. And wherever you go, again, bring your stuff. Like we said, if you were a doctor, right, would you show up to work without your stethoscope and your lab coat and all that stuff? No, because you'd get fired, right? You need your stuff to do your job. Well, in our job, what we do is we serve people and we share oils. So everywhere you go is your office. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to have everything you need to share oils, share your information, your classes, your everything with you. Okay, next is pamper yourself every once in a while. So that's it. Just pamper yourself. I have nothing else to say about that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so the reason why you want to do this is because a lot of people who are in the pampering business tend to be a lot more open to natural solutions such as essential oils. So try a new salon, a nail spa, a yoga studio, acupuncture, chiropractor, massage therapist. And if it's not in your budget, look for deals on Groupon or Living Social or Barter, which is one of my next slides. And then bring your oils and ask them to use them on you. So this was not even like a marketing strategy that I had, but it happened for me inadvertently. So I'm going to share it with you because it's kind of actually brilliant. So I went to a prenatal massage when I was like, I don't know, 14 months pregnant with my fourth child, or it felt like, and I like was living on Deep Blue at the time for my lower back pain. And I asked my new massage therapist, who I found through a Groupon deal, to use the Deep Blue during the massage. And she was like, what is this? This is fabulous. It smells great. And now she is one of my biggest builders. So there's lots of ways to, without even meaning to, connect with people and share the oils. And now she's sharing the oils with lots of her other patients and changing all these different lives. So it's really great to be able to do that. So definitely bring your oils. Another one is my acupuncturist. She now has a diffuser in her office. She has my business cards. I give her oils to diffuse. And it's a really, really great way to affiliate market, which is, again, something else we're going to talk about. Okay, so bartering, I just mentioned that. Bring back this awesome way of trading goods and services. What would you like to get for free? So think about all the different things that you kind of want to get for free and what you have to offer. So remember, guys, we have these awesome LRP points and fast start bonuses, and they're created to, invest in your business. When you get some extra oils through your LRP, or you get some extra money through your fast start bonuses, use that to barter with other people who might not necessarily be that gung-ho about investing a lot of money in the oils, but they want to try them, so they're willing to barter with you. So I did this with my home organizer. I needed a home organizer because you guys saw what my life looked like, right? In that first slide I showed you. So she was like, well, great, I'll, come and help you with your home organizing. You can make me some blends and give me some oils and a diffuser, and it worked out awesome. So just some ideas, like, what do you want to get for free? Chicken eggs, blankets or quilts, crafts. I'm not crafty at all, but I love crafts. So I'm going to be like, I'll give you some oils. You try, you give me some crafts. And then when you give somebody an oil and they use it, they're going to fall in love with them, because who doesn't? So you're kind of like you're providing them the gateway drug, right? Give them some like peppermint, lavender, lemon, gateway drug. Now they're going to want more. And you're their oil dealer. So it works out awesome. LuLaRoe leggings, you can barter for that. Everybody loves LuLaRoe leggings. Maybe not, but here in Boston, apparently everybody loves LuLaRoe leggings. People don't have money for oils, but they have money for LuLaRoe leggings. So what you're going to do is you're going to give them oils. They're going to give you LuLaRoe leggings. They're going to fall in love with the oils. They're going to use their money from their See what I'm getting at? Stuff to pamper yourself. Other network marketers' products. This is huge. We're going to talk about that again. House cleaning, mother's helper, personal trainer, luxuries, life coach. My life coach is now an oil user. We trade services for oils. So great way to break into new markets. Vendor fairs and events. So there's a right way and a wrong way to do a vendor event or a fair. Make sure you get contact info and follow up, because if you don't, it's just kind of lost. So you don't really enroll people at vendor events. It's really rare that happens. And you don't sell a lot of product, but the whole goal is really to get that network. So create a really good raffle door prize sheet where you get their information, and then make sure you follow up with them. Schedule classes, book classes. When I first moved here, and I was, again, feeling kind of bummed about, not hitting diamond the first month that I moved back like I thought I would. I signed up for a whole bunch of vendor events and fairs. And one of the ones that I did, I enrolled a woman, and she's since hosted about 3 classes. So that was a couple of years ago. And just last month, her sister, who lives in Connecticut, which is a couple of states down away from me, was like, hey, would you come to Connecticut and, teach us about oils? And I was like, absolutely. So these are a great way to break into new markets and new networks. But also you have to keep that relationship going. So the relationship with that initial woman who I met at the vendor fair, I've nurtured and grown and really got to know her, and she's so awesome, and her daughter's so awesome, and her friends are so awesome. And it's just been a really good relationship for us. So you want to make sure that you're providing that value for them. All right, so make and take events. This is another great way to break into markets. So some people might be a little nervous about trying oils or investing in a wholesale account or investing in a kit. But they're more than happy to come to a make and take event and spend, $10, $20, $30 on some roller bottles or some sprays or some balms or whatever else. So you want to do this. So advertise in local groups where you're already an established member, right? Because you're doing everything I've been telling you to do. So you're joining these groups and you're you're there with the people and you're working on your relationships, getting to know everybody, becoming more diverse. And then you're going to advertise your make and take event. People are going to come to check it all out because they like you and they trust you. Advertise in your meetup groups. You can even pay for Facebook ads and target your audience. So this is like a whole other class that Kenzie actually did about like Facebook algorithms, Instagram, stuff like that. So we could talk like all night about that. So I'm not going to spend too much time, but just know your audience when you are creating Facebook ads. So like for me, I'm not going to advertise to everybody because the people who respond to my ads tend to be women between the ages of like 30 and 45. So I'm going to narrow my audience down in order to have them see my event. So I did one of these make and take events last summer, and I rented a hall. It was $40 an hour, which I thought was pretty steep, but like 50 women ended up coming. I ended up making almost $1,000 in sales on like roller bottles and stuff. And again, like a few months ago, one of the women from that event ended up enrolling with me. And now she is a nurse at a college in the area, like a really good college in the area. And she contacted me because she wants me to go and teach a class for her. So you just never know like where your next builder, sharer, business partner is going to come from. So you want to just kind of be planting your seeds everywhere, getting a big plot of land and spreading it all around, because you got to kind of just hit everybody up. This is my next slide about creating a community service project in your community. So I'm going to give the credit to Lisa Zimmer for this one. So she is a diamond on my team. She's on my 4th level and she's awesome. She's one of my mentors, even though she's in my downline. I've learned so much from her over the last couple of years. She's like a true businesswoman and she has a heart of service, which is awesome when you combine those two. And she told me about this project that she was doing over in her area about creating like workshops and bringing people in from the community to teach about different subjects. So I decided to replicate this here in Boston, and it's been awesome. So I basically just created on Facebook a community service project. I called it the Powerful Women's Wellness Project, and we meet once a month. Every month there's 2 different speakers. They talk for about half an hour each, and we have about an hour to mingle in between, and it's open to the community. We are a group of about 20 to 25 women who all commit to being there each month and supporting one another, and everybody brings their network. So it's kind of like a BNI thing, but it's not, because it's not as rigid, it's not as strict. You don't meet like a weekly basis. We're not going to like kick you out if you don't show up one month. And it's all like just volunteer basis. So this has literally just expanded my network so much. And I really wanted to focus on women in my community who are already wellness minded, because that's what I was having a hard time connecting with. But I knew they were here. I just didn't know how to connect with them. So I was like, I'm going to just create this women's wellness project. And I advertised it everywhere. And I put it on like these Facebook groups and put ads up. And next thing I know, like, all these people were like, oh, my friend's, a home organizer. My friend is a wellness coach. My friend is a postpartum doula. My friend's this, my friend's that. Can she join your group? And next thing I knew, I had this giant network of women who are open to this stuff. And it's been awesome. And I really feel like we're making a difference here in the Boston area. So I highly recommend you do something like that. It hasn't really been labor intensive or hard or anything like that. It's been super fun and enjoyable. So find out what your passion is and create something like that as a way to serve your community and connect with other people who are like-minded, because you can be really strong together that way. Okay, so now this is affiliate networking. This is huge. I'm super excited to talk about this. So, like I said, I've joined a lot of different things. One of the things I joined was a Hike It Baby group. I love hiking. I love my babies. I love baby wear. I just combined it all. And we were hiking, and my husband recognized one of the women who was on the hike as somebody he went to high school with. Well, she happens to be a presenter for another MLM company, for another network marketing company. So I don't know if you guys know, but we're number one. doTERRA is the number one company, and she represents the number 3 company, Younique. So up there, right? Really good. So we ended up connecting, and I bought her products. She buys my product. We're not like competing with each other. She's, you know, she does makeup and I do essential oils. So it works really well. Well, she had a video, one of her live videos go viral, meaning she had like 4 million people who watched her video. And now she literally in about 8 months reached the top of her company. She's like a president, like the equivalent of a presidential diamond in her company. And guess what? She's on my team. And when she does her videos, thousands of people watch them. And guess who she talks about? doTERRA. And guess who she talks about when she talks about doTERRA? Me. So guess who gets an influx of orders, customers, enrollments, interested people, and business builders when she talks about doTERRA? Me. So this is why networking with other network marketers is awesome, because you want to support each other, right? We're all in this mission together. And you want to support those awesome men and women who are doing what you're doing and help them out, because you can bring your network to them. They can bring your network to you. Nobody knows like a hustle like one of us network marketers, right? We hustle. So people respect that. And I know a ton of people on my newsfeed, for example, who do a certain company. And when it's time to support one, like for example, like books, like if I want to buy some books, I'm going to go to the people who have been building their relationship with me and have truly been caring and providing value and who are consistent and who are like a real professional. So you want to present that too. You want to be consistent and provide value and be professional, because chances are lots of people know lots of essential oil people. So why would they choose you? So same thing as with her. Like I knew a lot of like makeup people. Why would I choose her? Because she knows what she's doing. I hope that makes sense. I kind of rambled on for a little bit there. But yeah, so collaborate. The other thing is get to know the other successful network marketers in your area and create events together. That was another one of the things that I did when I moved here. I wanted to know who the successful network marketers were in my vicinity, and I reached out to them and I introduced myself and I said, hey, I'm a leader with doTERRA. I see that you're, you know, super successful with your company. Would you want to get together and do some Super Saturday events and, you know, promote our industry? So not just our businesses, but our industry. So giving MLMs legitimacy, because I don't know if you guys, like I said, in the Boston area, we have a lot of kind of issues with this. I don't know if you're having that in your areas, but if you are, there's no better way to put down the naysayers than to like get together 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 local people in your community who have succeeded at the business and get them together to present the opportunity and the products. So again, affiliate networking is huge. I know Haley Hobson talks a lot about this too, and it just makes a lot of sense. All right, so have a Facebook business page, public, and a members group, private. I don't want to talk too much about this because there's a ton, like I said, about algorithms and stuff. The main thing that I want to say about this is be consistent and engaging. This is another one of Eric Worre's points that he talks about. Like, don't, you know, get people all gung-ho about your product and everything and then disappear and then come back and disappear and come back, because people aren't going to follow you if you're kind of inconsistent. So stay fun and engaging, be original and authentic. Let people see the real you and connect with you. Create your own content. Educate. You definitely want people, you want to create users in your business. So you want to educate them about your products and encourage members to add their friends and family. And if you can, do some giveaways. So I have Trivia Tuesday on my members page. It's created a ton of engagement. we do one roller bottle a week. It's like, you know, $2 to send to the person and a couple of dollars to make. It's like a $5 a week investment for me to create this roller bottle. And I'm educating people because it's trivia. So they have to guess what it is that we're doing. And then they also tag their friends and family. So now, again, we're helping them to share the oils with their network, which again is expanding your network. Start a Facebook group that has nothing to do with doTERRA. This is another great way to create a following, something you're passionate about and that you enjoy. Something funny. So I joined this group called Wicked Funny Moms because it was funny. Wicked funny is like a New England expression. I don't think people outside of New England get the whole wicked funny thing. Or just, you know, saying wicked to describe something. Mom's coffee break. So again, sorry for anybody who's not a mom or who's not in the mom scene, but that was something we did. My husband and I created through the Keyhole. It was a Facebook group that, you know, talked about the struggles of marriage and the reality of what it's really like to raise 4 children. And people really enjoyed that. And we didn't do it with the intention of selling oils. Like, I don't even think I talked about oils on there. But again, I'm being authentic and I'm letting people get to know me. And now they know me and they trust me. And when I talk about an oil, eventually they're going to be like, oh yeah, we know Joanna. We trust her. We're going to, you know, if she uses these oils, they must make sense, right? They must work. So again, you're adding value to people. And when you join these other groups or when you start other groups, they usually have like a spam me day when you can advertise your business. So again, you're not going to go in there and, you know, sell your Oreo spam cookies any other day other than when they say, hey, everybody who has a business, advertise here. And you can do that. And when you do it, don't be generic. Like, don't go on there and be like, I sell oils. Like, say something true and authentic about yourself and why you do what you do, so people can really see your heart and why you do what you do, basically. So give them something personal. And again, support others. When you go in there, support other people and their businesses. Don't just look for likes for yourself. Buy, sell in your local Facebook Craigslist groups. This is a weird kind of place to market. And I'm kind of just giving you guys my personal journey because this worked for me. So I buy a lot on, like, you know, Craigslist types groups and stuff like that, because my kids, like, I'm not going to buy them $100 jacket because they're just going to wear it in the woods and ruin it. So I buy like a used jacket on like a Facebook group. So I started buying from a local mom who has 3 boys and a girl. Her last is a girl, which is just like me. I have 3 boys and a girl. Our kids are all the same age. We have something in common, which led to conversation. And then we started walking around a lake that we have here. And from that, we developed a relationship, which is so weird, right? I mean, who develops a relationship from like a Craigslist group? That's kind of creepy. Usually people like murder you on those sites. But anyway, usually if you're buying something from somebody, it's because you have something in common. Like if you're knitting, like you can buy knitting supplies, whatever it is, scrapbooking. If you're into scrapbooking, make this relevant to you. And now she's joined all my groups because I gave her a roller for her daughter's ear support when her daughter was having ear issues. And she started telling all her friends about how great this roller worked. And now, boom, out of that came another market. So you got to think outside the box when you're networking too. Invite your neighbors to a class. This is great. I did this last summer. What we did was we just did 4 classes in 1 month. I scheduled 4 classes all on different days, different times. I had my husband and my kids go to our neighborhood and hand out flyers with, you know, our address, who we were, our email, and a way to RSVP. And we did it in the summer so that way we don't have to clean our house, because this is what my house looks like with 4 kids and a dog. We also have a dog. So another great way to just kind of think outside the box. Somebody just chatted, I think. Okay, and I left this for last because I haven't done this yet, but I know other people do, so I just wanted to kind of leave this on there because it's a great way for creating a new warm market. Is BNI, Business Network International. So this is an established group of networkers who meet regularly and start a blog about anything, really. So when you start a blog, it's about, you know, creating a following, and eventually you're going to slowly incorporate your business into it. I bet people here have blog. I know people here actually have blogs. So, okay. So remember, go and farm. By farm, I mean network. Remember, don't settle for the land you're farming. Always expand the farm. Spread those awesome seeds on so your harvest reaches far and wide. You guys are all unique. You are interesting. You're authentic. You care about others. You have lots of gifts to offer to those you know and those who will come into your life when you are intentional about meeting them. So you don't want to play small. Just everything you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. I know we've heard this a lot. It's a common expression that we use, but it's so true. So step outside your comfort zone. Look up from your phones. Join some groups. Pursue some hobbies. And really genuinely care and connect with people everywhere you go, online, offline, wherever you are. For me, this is like, my little backyard chicken coop here. It's not really mine, but mine's about the same size. And, I can't have as many chickens as on the right if my little plot of land is this small. So I'm going to expand my plot of land and have lots and lots of chickens everywhere, right? It's kind of a weird analogy, but you guys know what I mean. So that is all that I have for you guys.
I love the idea of buying more land. That was a great analogy. That was really good. I like that. Great ideas. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
Somebody asked, what is Eric's last name? Awore. Okay, good.
So if you guys, Eric Worre has a website that you can follow. It's called networkmarketingpro.com. Highly, highly recommend that.
Definitely. Oh, somebody asked about what a roller bottle clutch was. Now, can you guys see me now? Now that I'm not sharing my screen. Here it is. It's awesome. You open it. When I was out in California, this literally sparked conversation everywhere I went. People were like, what's that? What do you have there? So, really cool. Put your oils in there like that.
Well, those are amazing suggestions. I hope you guys took notes. If not, Kenzie will be posting the recording, but those are great suggestions. I can't turn my video on because I will get kicked off, so sorry. Have anything?
No questions? Awesome. So everyone's going to be on Meetup and in Facebook groups and supporting their doTERRA paraphernalia.
Being a product of the product is super, super important, and always being prepared. So I'm just going to, real quick, we went to Mexico the other day, and I was totally unprepared, and I was so mad at myself. I didn't even have a business card. And Mark talked to 2 people, and I talked to 2 people. 3, well, I ended up being able to give out a business card once I got back to the truck. But it was like, it was just ridiculous that I had nothing to be able to share. I had my oils. I was able to share the oils, and that was it. Not even a pen to write my name down. Dumb, dumb, dumb. So always, always be prepared.
Do you guys get a lot of people asking you about your truck, about the wrap on your truck?
It's getting more so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why we have the truck with us now. The Jeep is noticeable, but the truck is way more noticeable.
Yeah.
So
I find that I don't get like people calling me from it. It has my number on it and everything. Nobody calls me and, starts conversations that way, but it's a conversation starter about, oh, what do you do?
Yeah, it's definitely more the face-to-face.
Mm-hmm.
So, for sure. All right, Kenzie, you can stop the recording if you want, and then we'll do our giveaway.